Blake Hooper here, blakehooper.com, and welcome to the 7-day income challenge. Now, I'm glad you've taken this on, and what we're going to get straight into, is setting goals, because that's the number one step in making sure that you get your income set on fire and you have a strategy to meet it. If you don't have any goals or a reason to go to work or to get out there and hustle or do whatever you're doing to make money, then you're really going to be doing it for no point at all. So you obviously have things you want to achieve. Some people would have written these goals down previously. Some people may not have. Some people mightn't have done it for a while. But what I want to do today is I want to go through why goals are so important, and also give you a couple of tips. I've got a really good app that you can use to track your goals, and also I want to show you my sort of technique on how I've set my goals over a timeline and things like that. So we'll start off with why you want to have goals. Obviously, you need to have something to strive for. If you have no goal set or no goals, then really you're traveling blindly. It's like running a race as a lead horse. You're looking to win that Melbourne Cup or whatever race you've entered into, and you've got a blindfold on. You can't see where you're going. You have no real end goal. You don't know where the finish line is. You don't even know if you're going to be on the best course of that track. So what you want to do is make sure you've got goals set in. Now, I like to take it a little bit further, and I like to cement those goals in so that they have a timeline as well with them. But before we get into it, what I want to do is I want to tell you a quick story about a few years back where I had written down some goals, and there was 5 goals written down that I was looking to achieve. I think I put them in at about mid-year, and I wanted to achieve them by sort of the end of the year. Now, I didn't look back at those goals until a year or so later. I remember there was 5 goals and I'd actually achieved 4. Off the top of my head, 3 of those goals were, one was to write $1 million in revenue, and I had completed that. One was to invest in another property, and I'd actually at that point invested in 2 and had invested in that one that I'd set out to do. And the third one that I can think of off the top of my head was I wanted $100,000 in the bank account. Again, another one that had been achieved. And I hadn't even looked back at those goals, but just the power of writing them down and getting them set was so important that it made me subconsciously achieve those goals. I was set out to do it. Yeah, I didn't check back and remember, but I'd written them down and I'd looked at them numerous times along the road. And a year later, there I'm sitting, and I'd achieved 4 of those 5 goals. So it really shows you the power of writing down your goals and having a clear path. So what I like to do is, as I said, I like to put a timeline on it. So for that one, it was I needed to achieve it by the end of the year. With yourself, I'd be putting down timeline. So you want some short-term goals and you want some long-term goals. The short-term goals are obviously going to be easier to achieve, and they mightn't be quite as difficult. So you want to have them on a shorter sort of timeline and try and achieve them quicker. Then you want your long-term goals. So you want goals for the next 5 years, 1 year, 2 years, so that you're set on a path that you're actually looking to achieve, and they're going to be some higher end goals that you're looking to achieve. Now, I've written up on the board here what you can see. I've actually put divide and conquer, reach your goals. Now, that's an app. If you type in that into Apple's App Store, you will get the divide and conquer, reach for your goals app. Now, that I would definitely recommend. It has the opportunity for you to put your goals in there and set a timeline, set their priorities, and then they're on your phone. So if you're just buying your coffee and you've got 2 minutes to spare and you think of, yep, that's a goal, that's what I want to achieve, pop it in, put a timeline on it, put the priority on it, and you can really start to organize your goals, and you can have them in front of you. You can pop them open each day, once a week, have a look at them, and make sure you're on track, make sure you're striving to get to those goals. So that's something that I highly recommend. Jump on that app. I can't remember if there was a fee for it because I've had it for a couple of years now, but definitely grab that app. Even if you have to pay a couple of dollars, it's a worthwhile investment, and it'll help you keep those goals in front of you. Now, when you're setting your goals, I really want you to think as long-term picture as you can, and sometimes break those goals down into steps. So you might have the long-term goal to be X, but there's a couple of steps that you've got to achieve to get to that long-term goal. So I want you to break them down and get really specific. And when you're writing your goals out, instead of just writing that your goal is make $1 million, I don't know, I want $100,000 a year. Say, I will make $100,000 a year. I will have $1 million in my bank account by this date. And the reason you do that is because it takes on a whole new level of power when you actually have it written down in the context that you will achieve it, that you will have that at some point. So don't just write down, I just want to achieve this. No, I will have done this by this date, and really get committed on those goals. And that's going to be the first step to ensuring that you start to increase your income. Now there's going to be 7 days that I'm going to run through here, showing you the little steps along the way to get you on your path, get you firing, really help you ramp up your income. And tomorrow you're going to love it. It's going to be about profiling. So some of you may have done profiling before. It's not something that a lot of people do. It's more of a higher level setting or way to set your life on fire and set yourself up for income goals. So tomorrow I'm going to run through profiling, and you're really going to get excited about that. So make sure you stick around, make sure you tune in, and I'll look forward to going through that with you.